Welcome back everybody to Ape Tech Tutorials. Thank you so much for those of you who have supported us and subscribed to our channel. Like always, we appreciate everything you guys do for us. In today's tutorial, we're going to be teaching you guys how to end your game properly so that it looks like you actually ended instead of jumping into some random screen. So for that, we are going to require to learn how to do broadcasting and a few other checks here and there. So thank you so much again, and please don't forget to subscribe. Let's go ahead and get started with the demo. So what I've done here is I created a counter, counts up to a number of tacos in this case. And when we get to that counter, we would go ahead and end the game. So like you can see, this is where we ended, and we have a character at the end who tells us how long it took us to actually eat 5 tacos. And this number can change, the 5 tacos. I just left it at 5 because I wanted the demo to be very fast. So let's go ahead and get started with the actual content of this. Let's start with what we've changed. So for the backdrops, that area that we usually don't ever touch, but we are allowed to put a lot of code in there. The main part that I changed was to add a check in there to see if the number of tacos that the character has eaten is total to the total maximum tacos that are allowed to be eaten. Then we go ahead and hide our background, our broadcast, sorry, our backdrop, and then we call this broadcast over, game over, and then we stop all the scripts that are related to this specific area. So let's see. Oh, and then also another few things that I added this max total, which is 5, and this number you can change it to whatever number you want. I have it at 5 due to the demo that I didn't want it to be so long, but you can change it to whatever number of tacos you want your character to eat, or whatever it is that your character's purpose is. You can change it to whatever you want here. And then I also added this eaten tacos variable here, set it to 0. And it's important we set it to 0 because at the beginning of the game we always want it to be set to 0, back to 0. Okay, so that is the main change that we did in this section of the code. For more explanation on how this section of the code works, look at our previous tutorials. They will teach you guys on all of that. But basically what this does is initializes all our variables. Oh, and then there's also this here, I forgot to mention this. I added this broadcast start. I created 2 broadcasts, the start, so do when we start the game, and the broadcast when we end the game. And the reason we did that is because we were using the flag for everything else, and whenever we started the game, I noticed that the game would get stuck, and realized that by doing some research that if I do the flag, then things don't start like we usually think they will start. So by adding a broadcast, I can decide when they start. So basically what it does is when the flag starts, I initialize all my variables, and I call this start broadcast. And I'll show you guys how to use that start broadcast. So let's move to the next one. This here is our background that looks like it's scrolling forever, at least part of it, half of it. So we changed the start up here. If you guys remember, I used to have a flag. It will start when the flags got clicked. So now I have it start when the start broadcast is initiated, and nothing else has changed here. We just added this here. Now let's move to the next part of this. This is the other half of the scrolling background, and the only thing that we changed was again add this start broadcast, and this allows so that our game starts in the proper manner instead of jumping in random places and it doesn't look like it started correctly by adding this start broadcast. Now that's all we changed for this. Again, if you guys want to look at the previous tutorials, we explain a lot of this stuff here. And now always, please subscribe to our channel. Appreciate your support. Let's see, and then here is our main character. Our main character, we changed to add a start broadcast here. So it will only start when our start broadcast is called, which is after we initialize all the variables. We wanted to show because he is hidden at the end. When the game ends, he is hidden, so we want our character to show. So we added this show here. And then we also added this: if tacos equals max total, then hide the character and stop the scripts. What this means, stops this script, means it'll stop everything here from happening. The only thing it will execute this, the hiding, and then stop everything else. And that's how we end our game, or end the stuff that our character is doing. And our next part, this is the next part for our character, and this is the part that allows our character to jump at the same time as going to the right. We also call it when we start the game with this start broadcast. And then we also do if the number of tacos is the total number of tacos is equal to the max, then we want to hide the ability to be able to move them to the right. It's not something we care for, but it's better to take care of it just in case. And then we stop the script. That way we can't execute the script anymore when our game ends. For our fireball, the same idea. We started to do a start broadcast. We show the ball since it's hidden. And for those of you who are wondering why didn't I do a show on the other one, on this previous one, is because this is not showing our character. This is only controlling the ability for our character to go to the right. So this doesn't actually show our character, so I don't have to put a show here. I already put it over here where I show my character. And for those that are new, this here up here shows us where all this code goes. So this basically goes for our main character, and this goes to our main character as well. And this is our fireball. So for our fireball, we check the same idea. The number of total tacos, if they're equal to the max tacos, then we hide the fireball, and we stop the script that allows for this fireball to go continuously. And the reason we want to stop this is because when we want to be able to stop all the execution of all the other code we don't need when the game is over. There's no point in having stuff running in the background when we don't need it. And then this is the wall. The wall is the same idea as all the other ones. We make a show since we had it hide at the end. We always want to make the sprite show because we're hiding it when the game ends. So the next time when we restart the game, we want to be able to see that sprite. And we check for the same thing. I am going to try to figure out how to make this into a specific function, which I'm just gonna call. I figure this will be the quick and easy way to show you guys without confusing you. But because we call this eat tacos equal to max total, this if here, we check for this all the time, we could make a function of it. And basically the function would be very simple. We would do the hide and stop a script. That's all we would do in that function. And we would be calling that function when the eaten tacos equals to the max total of tacos. Alright, so again, for those of you that want to know more about how this script works, we do have the other previous tutorials. This is more like a wrapped up for everybody who has been following us from part 1, is to allow you to see how you can actually end your game. Or this is one of the ways. There's multiple ways that people have to end games. This is one of them. And again, the tacos. This is the tacos that are falling from the sky that the dog needs to eat. We do the same idea. We want to show them and check for the maximum amount of tacos and end that game if the max is the total that the number that dog has eaten is the total max. And nothing else has changed here. It's just we added this check up here to make sure we end our game when the total max has been reached. Let's see. And the new part here, this is the last newest, your final screen that says you've game over kind of thing. This is only shown, so when we click the flag, we want to hide this whole thing. We don't want our sprite to show at all because our game is obviously has not ended. It's at the beginning of the game, so we hide our character. And then when this game over broadcast is reached or is called from the rest of the code, we come in here and I do a check. If tacos, the number of tacos equals total number of tacos, then it shows this. It shows itself, obviously. It needs to show itself. And then it says how many seconds it took you to eat the amount of tacos. So I put this max total here because that will allow for more flexibility, because if you change the number of tacos at the front, this number will display the actual number of the tacos that are max number that you have. And this is the way you join strings together with variables, by using this join. Let me show you guys really quickly how that is in Scratch. And here in these operators, we have this join apple banana thing, and all you do is just put multiple ones in there depending on how big you want your thing to be. And obviously you only do this if you're gonna have other stuff in there. So I don't need this one here because I really don't need, I did like a extra there. What I could have done here is done these to get, and then have this one in here. So this was extra. I didn't really need this, so we can get rid of that. So we only want to join them when it's an actual text or a string and a variable. So right here, like you see right here, we're joining if it took you, and then timer is a variable that's already given by Scratch. It's in here. Scratch gives us that already. You could make your own if you want. So we want to join this variable to this string, and we join it by using this join. And then after joining this variable, I want to join the variable itself to this other string. So then we continue just joining, and we only use it like that for joining variables with strings, and we'll look more into it. I want to see what other things we can do with this join stuff, but for now is to be able to display like your information that you have in your variables with strings that explain the information. And then here we do a repeat of the custom. So I want him to be looking like he's walking and doing his thing, and allow him to move. So that's why we do this. And that is it for that. I did change the colors. I do have another tutorial where I'm gonna teach you guys how to do a lot of other like manipulation of characters in here, how to create your own a little. I'm not an art student. I'm not an artsy person, but I can kind of figure out things with shapes and maybe teach you guys how to do some of the stuff too. That way you guys can create your own little characters. So basically what we taught you guys here was just how to end a game properly, to show you a way of how to end a game. This is obviously just one way that you can end a game. There might be multiple ways out there that different people try. If you guys have any comments, questions, just let me know. If you guys have any other ideas that how to end a game, that I'm welcome to look at them. And thank you so much for all of you who have been sharing your projects with us. I love looking at them and seeing what you guys do. You guys are very creative, and it's great to see that people out there are using this free tool for learning how to program and create their own little stuff, which is amazing. And the ability for us to be able to have all these at the tip of our fingers. And thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe and like us, and we'll see you guys on the next one. In the next tutorial, we're going to show you guys how to use the Makey Makey with this specific game. I'm looking into all the different little things of the Makey Makey. I figured out how to use it already with this game, but there's other things in there that I want to kind of explore, so I can kind of explain them to you guys. And thank you so much. See you guys in the next one. Bye.